What is up, light seers and soul warriors, my game changers? Today, I'm bringing you a special message. I'm bringing you a card message from Spirit. They've got something to say for somebody, and they want to talk about us and why we don't trust ourselves sometimes, right? Like, why do we struggle with our own intuition, with what we know to be right, with what we know that we need? Do you ever notice that? Like, do you struggle with that? You feel this urge, you feel this need to do something, it's in your gut, right? Like you could feel it in your gut, you know it's something you have to do, yet we hesitate. We wait, we think that maybe we're not accurate. We question ourselves all the time. Why do we do that? Before I get into that, I'll introduce myself just briefly. My name is Juniper Mystique. I am an Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. I'm not your regular starseed and light worker. I'm a little bit beyond that. What is the difference between an Ascension Master and a Master Healer? That's a good question. Some of you might ask that. Let me explain, and I'm glad you asked. An Ascension Master is somebody who brings about things to a planet, not just people. That's why I have two titles, Ascension Master and Master Healer. I heal people. I'm a Master Healer. I can do everything. Literally, I do everything. From medical ailments to energetic healing. There's no limit. An Ascension Master, what that title carries for me, personally, some other people might use it for something else, I did things to the planet. Okay, I had a Kundalini awakening in 2019, then I rose Atlantis, I started doing all these weird things, many things from, it's a lot to name off. But the main things that I did was cleared Atlantis, cleared Mt Shasta, rose Atlantis, activated all these pyramids, not the normal ones you would think of, ones you may not even know existed, all over the globe. Then it became like I did things to the sun, the moon, the North and South Pole. I keep doing things to the sun and the moon, especially during eclipses. And then I brought down Christ's light, and then I started uniting the twin souls. Okay, and that ran us into the return of Christ, and it all plays out on my channel. So welcome. I encourage you to check out my Ascension playlist, check out anything you need to. It's all witnessed, recorded, and uploaded or happened live on my channel. Okay, so it is there for you to see, for you to witness, and for you to explore. All right, so with that being said, I do have some cards that I wanted to pull today as part of the message, but Spirit really wants to talk about you. Like, what is it that you don't trust within you? Why don't you trust your own instincts? Why don't you trust that nudge? Why do we question things so much, and why do we hesitate? Where does the hesitation come from? Where does the hesitation come from? That's a really great question to start asking ourselves. Why on earth would I hesitate? Right? Why? Why would I hesitate? Why wouldn't I just listen to those nudges? Have you ever had those moments where something told you otherwise? Like, for instance, you go around a person and your gut tells you, something's wrong with this. And you're like, maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me. I'll try this anyways, right? Good example. Or Spirit nudges you to do something that others might think you're crazy. And so you're like, no. And then little did you know you hurt a lot of people or yourself, right? Like, why do we do that? Why can't we trust ourselves? We were taught not to. That's a really big part of it. Ego, which is not part of the light, the shadow self, others' voices in our heads, right? We have to kind of consider like all this programming within your mind. It's subconscious and it's conscious. It's both. And then you have to question, are these thoughts mine? Are these thoughts, are these feelings, are these doubts, are these fears, are they mine? Or do they belong to somebody else? Are they inherently in me because that's what I kept hearing when I grew up? Or because I never seen love and so I don't believe in myself anymore? Is that where it's coming from? It's a really good idea to kind of take the masks off to why we hesitate, why we don't trust our own instincts, okay? Why? Why don't you trust your own instincts? Why do we hesitate? Archangel Zadkiel is coming forward right now, and he wants to kind of give an insight into, like, I feel like he works a lot with people's self-esteem. Okay, like we do struggle in our own skin, right? We struggle in our own skin because he is pointing to the fact that we need validation, right? We need validation. Validation is fleeting. That's what he says. Zadkiel says validation is fleeting. We were taught to look outside of ourselves for that validation. We were always taught to look outside of ourselves for that validation, and then we don't get it. And that creates a detriment within ourselves, okay? So if you can begin validating yourself, if you can begin looking within for validations, how do things feel? Allow things to play out in your environment. Let's, for example, as a psychic or the person that brought about these things, right? One of the first pyramids I activated was Fiji, and I had no idea why I was going there. I had no idea anything. I just trusted my instinct. I trusted my intuition. I trusted what my guides were telling me to do. And then I have these workshops, and these things were coming through me. But in the moment, I wouldn't have the validation. It was after I trusted that intuition, after I trusted that instinct, and I went against what others said was crazy, right? Because many people on my journey were like, oh, that's crazy. That makes no sense. You don't have to do that. Like, seriously, I would hear that a lot. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I got to get this done. Once you go against that ego, once you go against that shadow piece, once you trust your instinct, those validations will come through. They come through in mysterious places, but they will come through from you. Does that make sense? So it's not usually an external validation. Something can be shown on the external, but you will only feel it on the inside, usually. It's more rare to get the external validations right up front. You know what I mean? Like, other people don't usually validate you right away. You have to validate yourself first. So trust that intuition, trust those moments. Get those internal validations. Once you get those and you feel validated, external validations come through. Okay? That's what Spirit wants to say. I really like that. Shine bright like a diamond. I don't like that song, but that song is coming through right now. So it's shine bright like a diamond. You're beautiful. That song by Rihanna, right? Like, I'm not a fan of that song. I'm a fan of Rihanna's, but I don't really care for that song. But that is the theme for you, is to shine bright like a diamond. Internal explorer, just like I said, okay? It's an internal thing before it's an external thing, okay? For we have unique gifts. We're unique individuals. We're not what they made you think you were. We have a different blueprint than what they have said we have had. We are also evolving at this time frame, okay? We are evolving. This is a moment of evolution. That's what the ascension is all about. That's why every moment is a chance to dive deeper. It's a chance to heal. It's a chance to understand who you are. Okay? And that's what Spirit's asking you to do right now, is take a moment for healing every day. Take that moment for healing every day and for allowing the light to shine through and to understand who you're becoming and who you always were. Because, we don't have a choice, right? It can get clunky if you try to fight it. But the problem is we're not trusting that intuition. So the moment you begin to look within, validate yourself by accepting those things and then watching the validations come through, then we can heal and be validated on the external, okay? The violet flame, this is sudden awakening, somebody's sudden awakening, also deepening and awakening. So there's some understanding coming through for somebody. There's an awakening going on here, the DM even further, and there's some understanding coming through for somebody, okay? That's what they're talking about. But this truly is about coming into a new existence of self. And in order to do that, as our intuition grows, we must grow with it, okay? So as our nudges come and as things are saying, hey, you got to do this, you got to do this, or hey, do this, and oh, hey, do this, no matter what others think about you. That's hard, right? That's getting out of ego. That's stepping outside of yourself and your comfort zone. And we have a hard time because we want to be validated. We don't want to feel crazy. But Spirit is saying that's not the way it works. We must internally validate first by taking the steps outside of that and watching things unfold. Then you can get the external validations, then and only then. Okay? Making sense? Otherwise, they're not built on a strong foundation. Trust your intuition and allow yourself to shine bright like a diamond. You're not meant to be like everybody else. You're not meant to fit into the fucking crowd. Right? You're meant to herd people through, basically, like sheep. Okay? Remember they were talking about like sheep do the sheeple? I always felt like that was an insult. But the thing is there were so many people brainwashed that we need people shining the light and pulling them through. How do we do that if we're not shining our own light and allowing our uniqueness to be seen through and through, no matter what everybody thinks? Look what I do. I talk about all the time. I have people going, oh, Jesus didn't rise. Oh, when Jesus rises, wake me up. And I'm like, you didn't watch the video. I have the video right here. I know it happens. I've processed his death. I united the twin souls. I almost died doing it. And it sounds crazy, right? It does. God told me to allow myself to be myself, accept every bit of who I was, and change the world. I had to go against the thought of judgment, of people shunning me, of people thinking I'm crazy, all of this stuff. Okay? But then the validations would come through. Spirit brought so many beautiful validations that came from myself. It was something I saw only, right? But I felt it, and it felt really good. And then the external validations can come through. It's not my fault. Most people can't see the truth. Okay? Be decisive. Know what it is you want and who you are and what you're doing. Be decisive and strengthen your gifts. Okay? What does this mean, strengthen your gifts? Spend time focusing on you, developing who you are, connecting, raising your vibration, working, putting in the effort where it needs to go through, right? Not on all the negative stuff. That's what Spirit's saying. Don't keep putting your effort on the negative stuff, the fears, the what ifs, the mishaps. Nothing like that. Put your effort in strengthening you, okay? Strengthening your gifts, feeling beautiful again, whatever it is we need to do, okay? Getting back to where you feel anchored in and alive and supported and seen and felt and heard and validated internally into the external. Okay? Beautiful message. I like this message. I haven't pulled cards in a minute. I don't want to do this too often, but I really do like it. You know, cards are tools. I can communicate without them, but I really like them. They're a way to strengthen that communication with Spirit. They're a way to help validate also, okay? So never shun them. Never discard them. Just be careful who's bringing them through. That's what matters. Who's using them? It's not the tool, okay? All right, so these two go together. We have scavenge and abundance. Well, how is that? Because they're contradictory. What this means is we could be going through difficult times right now. And don't focus on what you don't have. Okay? Do not focus on what you don't have. I just got chills big time because I'm going through huge transformations because of the twin flame. But I love him. I really do. I love him and I feel him so much, you guys. It's beautiful. Like he really is trying to communicate with me on the internal, and I just want to validate that. I feel it. I see it. And it's helping, but I need that external. Okay? But that's the thing is I could sit here and go, I've never had it on the external, and that's there. The focus, the need to focus on what we don't have is in the air. Okay, that's what this is. It's like, don't focus on lack, right? Like he's got all these empty cans, and it's like he's just looking where there's emptiness. He's looking where things don't exist and stressing, right? That's the energy that's here. It's like, do not stress on what you don't have. Focus on you. Focus on joy, and abundance is at your door. Okay, it's like an ascension portal, right? If I sit here and I focus on lack is what I create. This is true. And it's even more potent now than ever before. All right? Do not focus on the lack, which can be so hard. It can be so hard, and I've been stuck in it for a moment because it's like heartbreak, right? When you have all these things going on at one time, there can be so many things you feel like are against you. Everything can feel like it's falling apart. And really what we're doing is we're focusing on our sorrows, and that's what we're creating. We're focusing on the lack, and that's what we're creating. And media, the collective matrix likes to do that to you on purpose, okay? So that's why we tune into that so easily. Don't worry about that. You have so much power inside of you. You can bring about what you need in the moments, in the blink of an eye. And this is what Spirit's saying. And I need these messages too, y'all, right? We need these reminders. We do. We absolutely unequivocally do. Oh, don't forget, you guys, I got new channels, so I won't be doing the Hertz music on here so much anymore. I have my own channel for that now. And then I'm going to be doing a Shining Light into the Darkness channel as well. So just keep your eyes peeled for those. I will put the links to those underneath this video. I have not uploaded too much to the Shining Light into the Darkness yet, but I will be getting that going. And in the Hertz music, I am definitely getting that going. I will be uploading there quite frequently. Okay. So just know that's what's been happening. That way people can actually, on this channel, focus on the ascension, because of what I brought about is a really big deal and people aren't seeing it. And it's a detriment in the collective soul at some point, because it's just like that awakening process, right? Oh, gosh. Okay, so we had like a few of these fly out. So we've got some things to surrender, my friends. We have got some things to surrender today. This goes with, yep, okay. All right, so I haven't seen this one in a while. Surrender your addictions. Okay, these are the coping mechanisms that I was talking about. Coming up big time. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. It's super important. And surrender resentments, right? Surrender resentments, please. And that's what I'm trying to do. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. There's no reason to... And here's the thing too, is I like keep getting the song of wide open spaces, room to make big mistakes. Sometimes we have to make mistakes to grow as a person, and that's where I'm trying to give space to my DM. I'm trying not to say, oh, he doesn't want to be here, he doesn't want to let me, but that's the energy, right? That's how I feel about it. But that's a resentment. And so that needs to be let go, and it's just an example. Not that I do resent him, I love him deeply. I just need that outside connection now. Okay? But resentments only poison you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. Okay? Forgive others. Everything is a lesson. Surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. So this is a place to put our focus. When we're in scavenge, when we're feeling lost, we're feeling alone, we're feeling unvalidated, if we surrender to creativity and shining like a diamond and feeling good within our soul, the only thing you can have is abundance. If I sat here and I focused on all this sorrow and stuff, which it's been overwhelming, that's what I'm creating. Okay? That's what we create. Surrender your belief in scarcity. This is quite a good group of cards. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond the wildest dreams. Okay? It's the belief in lack, remember? You can't make these up. Scavenge. Surrender that belief that, oh man, opening up to there's unlimited everything and miracles can occur. Something can come through today, the last minute. It's remembering who we are. It's going back to the innocence of ourselves. It's surrendering resentments within ourselves too. Not just others, like me. It's like I don't so much have resentments toward my DM. It's myself. Okay? Like when my first twin flame died, you guys, my journey was not easy. I almost died on it, uniting the twin flames, fighting fallen angels. They attacked me, not just one. And my DM died. And the resentments I hold are for myself. Like, if I would have done this different, if I would have done that different. And then we're focusing on, what are we focusing on? The scarcity, the lack of, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And we can't do that. And that's even what Spirit told me. It's like, nope, change your focus. I'm like, okay, but the heart broke. Gotta heal that, right? We gotta heal what we need to heal. We have to look within ourselves, surrender the resentments, shine love within. We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We are only on this crazy earth, which is so dense and hard to navigate through. And then the ascension is wild and crazy in itself. So let's focus on improving ourselves, polishing that diamond so that we can shine bright and feel strong and beautiful. Let's focus on any addictions or coping mechanisms that we use that are not of the light. Because what does it do? It keeps you from evolving. It keeps you from growing. It keeps you from tuning in. It's a more of a lack mentality rather than abundance mentality. Okay? So don't escape the difficult feelings. Don't escape those nudges. Don't deny those nudges, bringing it right back to the beginning of our message. Don't deny those nudges and those pushes to do something. Because once you do them, even if it goes against what's happening around you or you're concerned people are going to judge you, if your gut, if your heart is telling you to do something, do it immediately. And then you can heal into that because you're going to get such beautiful validations if you give yourself space. Once the internal validations occur, external remnants created. Okay? Does this make sense? So give yourself that space. And I really like this is we have surrender your belief in scarcity. Surrender to creativity. Surrender those resentments and surrender your addictions. Doesn't matter what the addictions are. That's why I did the coping mechanism video yesterday. They're all very relevant, okay? And strengthen your gifts. Be decisive in who you are and what you want to do in this world. What kind of ripple do you want to create? My game changers. Take a moment today and decide what it is you want to create within the universal flow. What kind of ripple do you want to create? What kind of beat do you want to create that from your heart, from your soul, that puts it into the universe? What a beautiful gift and opportunity like that is. I hope you guys all seize that moment today. And I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I'd love to have my true supporters show their faces, not just followers. Supporters, because that's what we need. Right? So much love to all of you. You're right where you're supposed to be. I hope you like and subscribe and stick around because it's just going to get more exciting. Trust me. Until next time, please check out my Ascension playlist, you guys. Most people don't take the time to watch these videos. I don't just talk about the return of Christ in them. I don't just talk about Mount Shasta. I actually brought it through me in real time. So much love. Till next time. Hasta la vista.